Deploying drone.
Okay, everybody, this is James Silver, and I set up somewhat of a battalion regimental hide, harbor, and there are two company squadrons in hides. Now I say company because they're APCs, and that's usually infantry. Armored have tanks, and since there's no tanks in this game, I made do with what I had. Now, all the vehicles in this harbor that I set up are military, but they're close in some facsimiles. This is a close facsimile of what a harbor would look like. It's a supply harbor where there's a regimental headquarters and even a helipad sort of mixed in with it for reconnaissance, and even a fast reaction force vehicles, and CPs, command post, radio vehicles, fuel trucks, supply trucks, and each troop in a row. Now normally an armored troop would have 4 vehicles or 4 tanks. An infantry mechanized troop can have 4 to 5, sometimes 6 vehicles, sometimes 7, but usually around 6 or 5. Okay, because you have to fit infantry sections in, plus the heavy equipment section, and the platoon headquarters. Now with a recce squadron or recce company, there are 7 vehicles, as you can see here, in each troop or platoon. Still again with the supply trucks and CP vehicle and fuel truck. Each troop or each company squadron has a jeep for their OC, officer in charge, and the regimental headquarters has the helicopters for fighting, defense, reconnaissance from the air, 2 CPs on average, and usually more than 1 jeep, because there's one for the CO of the regiment and the DCO, the
Proposing
CO
to meet
commanding
like this
officer,
seems kind of bush league of Swain.
the deputy commanding officer, sometimes the adjutant has one, and the RSM, regimental sergeant.
No way this meet is legit. Shit, he'll probably have snipers to take us out before we even get there. Or he'll just cover the meeting area with bouncing
are
goodies.
for the hides, because the only thing that'll be in the hides
It is
will
pretty
be the
stupid,
combat vehicles
but I
and
gotta
the
agree
CP,
with Holt. There's actually a
and
tiny
all the
chance that
troops
this is
in
all
slip
legit.
trenches and an all-around
Just have to find out
defense
the
type
hard
of
way.
thing. If I put on the thermal, you can see a bit of the hide. Can't see everything, but you get the idea. Right? They're here. Sort of all-round defense the best way they can. Yes, I am bored, but this is what happens when you're retired and you're an ex-serviceman and you're a veteran and done these kind of things. I just thought it'd be kind of fun to do, and I had some help from Tanks when he was on earlier. He got me some of these vehicles. And also in the regimental headquarters, you can see 4 motorcycles, which they do use for messengers between battalions, subunits of battalions and regiments, brigades, divisions, etc., etc. They get all the messages across between lines when they're not using radios. Now each country would be slightly different, and of course the vehicles would be more military, but this gives you an idea of a regimental hide. Hide is mainly for getting everything topped up, from fuel, oil, rations, ammunition for the vehicles, and each member of the serving crew members and the infantry, etc., etc. They would take away the empty jerrys and garbage that these guys would have and replace them with full ration kits for however long they need. Once they're done that, they can go to ground, or they can take off and go to a forward port where they would go into a hide and then go into an all-round defense and go into a routine of defensive operations until the next move. Normally, armor does not stay sitting for very long because they're a target for first off. Secondly, it's a big force, as you can see. This is probably condensed a bit much because there's not all the vehicles here, and they might be a little close together, but it gives you an idea. But you can imagine the logistics and the number of soldiers in this thing, support or combat, just to run this one regiment. Imagine many, plus the hides, right? And with their support vehicles in the back. The hides are just a place to do some minor maintenance and admin, get some rest, food, before the next move and the attacks carry on.
I think this is my first celebrity snatch and grab.
Supply is
Warlords
a bit more
don't
in
count.
depth
Even
of
with your most famous warlord,
maintenance,
Greedo fans don't get in the way of your extraction. But
and
most
so
of these
on,
fans are going to be cartel, right?
and
Open
briefings
season.
and
I
orders.
don't think all of them are going to be Sicarios. This is going to be a tricky one.
Obviously missing here are the bivvy areas and the tents that you would see in some areas, but you won't see them because most of the time they put them in the tree line. Not always, but most of the time, if there's a tree line around. But just to give you an idea, I hope you enjoy this little view of my nighttime harbor. And I'm going to do some infrared to give you a better view. Or, sorry, you know what I mean. But, I hope you like it, and thanks very much, Tanks 25 for the help. But it gives you an idea.